Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my All About Music series. And I've really been wanting to do more ranking the albums. It's something I enjoy watching on YouTube. Shout out to Sia Tranquility. You're doing amazing, interesting critiques. Today I want to go over a band that they don't get a lot of recognition, and it's a band called Cold. If you've never heard of them, their most popular work would probably be the single "Stupid Girl" from 2003, Year of the Spider. But they've got 5 studio albums, and I'm going to be ranking them today. Now I don't have like a document about this band, but they are one of my favorite. They're one of my top 10 for sure. And I want to go through they have 5 studio albums, they were originally on Napalm Records in 97 was when their debut album came out. The only album where their lead singer had hair. Woo! Okay, so if you don't know, they're an alternative metal, hard rock. They're considered hard rock, but they're kind of soft rock. They're one of those kind of bands where they're called metal, but they're not really metal. I would consider them kind of pop rock, but they're classified as metal, new metal for some reason. I guess they just came out in that time period. They're actually a discovery by Fred Durst, which is kind of not really the best cred that you could get in the industry. But yeah, so we're gonna jump right in to the ranking the studio albums by alternative new metal band Cold. Okay, are you guys ready for my bottom choice? We're gonna go from worst to best, and not to say now they have 5 albums and they're all fantastic. Okay, but I just got to go with their debut album. Okay, just for my least favorite. It's not bad by any means. Here's the track list on here if you want to take a look at that. So this is not the first album I bought by them. I didn't know of them in 97. I was just getting into rock and roll in 97. And these guys would be later on. I discovered Cold in 2001 with their amazing song called Bleed. It was actually retitled 13 for a radio and video release, which I don't think I ever heard it on the radio. But the video was mind-blowing. It featured vocals from Aaron Lewis of Stained, and I guess Stained would be the you could compare Cold to Stained. I always thought of them as like the skinny man's Stained, right? Yeah, if you look and listen to them, you might get that. So yeah, with this studio album, it's got a couple of singles on here that are really great. You've got Go Away and Give, the first 2 tracks. You've also got just the beginning of some really emotional lyrics in Ugly, Everyone Dies, and Strip Her Down. Yeah, those first 5 songs are amazing. Insane is kind of skippable in my opinion. Goodbye Cruel World has probably one of the best drum solos you'll ever hear, or intros. Serial Killer is interesting, and the last few tracks are kind of interesting, but there seems to be a little bit of filler here in a discography that is otherwise pretty darn perfect, right? So this is just their weaker link. It's a fun listen, but there's some skippable tracks in here. If you guys know who Cold is, check it out. Scooter with Hair. Okay, that's unbelievable. he went with my hairstyle after this album. Not sure if he went bald like I did or what, but yeah, this is a fantastic album. A nice little kind of a hard rocker with some nice little acoustic numbers. So it's very good. So we are moving on to my to my next choice. This one's a little better. This is Superfiction. Very interesting concept album where they kind of they went a little bit less. They made up some interesting lyrical choices on here instead of you know, writing personal songs. This one was a little bit less personal, which, you know, some people would say this is probably their weaker link, because that was their power. That is their power, is just Scooter Ward's extremely personal lyrics. I'll get you a little nice inside shot of this. The Spider is featured on all of their albums except for this one. And this is no different here. You got the Cold Spider, lots of tattoos. You got it on the drum set back here. But Superfiction, this one came after a long hiatus from the band, and it was, you know, it was a lot of fun. I did have some of the actual real life fans that I knew said this one didn't really do it for them. They said all the songs sounded the same. This was co-produced by Jeremy Parker and Kato Kandawala. Has the this one's dedicated to Bradley Hathaway. But this one's got some good, you know, it had some good singles that didn't really do much on radio. Cold just hasn't had a lot of mainstream success, but this one had Wicked World and American Dream were the two that had music videos. Again, I'm not sure that I've ever heard this band on the radio. Even with Stupid Girl, I don't think that I've heard Cold on the radio. But this has some really cool comic book themed art. Some of these songs were supposed to be for a Spider-Man soundtrack because they're such a big comic book fans, but it didn't work out for some reason. So Scooter Ward still wants to do comic book movie soundtrack. So if anybody out there wants to help him out, got to help a bald brother out. So I'm not gonna speak on those two albums too much, but I want to move on. Okay, so this coming in next, okay, is their brand new this album right here, The Things We Can't Stop. The Things We Can't Stop. There, I got it right. At first listen, this is their brand new 2000, I believe it's 19 on Napalm Records. So at first I got this album. I ran out and bought it pretty much after I saw them for the first time in concert. At first I felt like this was one of their weaker efforts, but it took a while to grow on me. The metal and hard rock influences are definitely gone here, aside from possibly The Devil We Know, and maybe some guitar work on some of the songs is a little bit heavier. But this is like piano ballads, really soft rock. It's dedicated to Matt Finfield, and in memory of Ian Friedman. Some hard to pronounce names there. But yeah, initially the lead singles were pretty good. Shine is a great single, and man, when I was at their concert and they started playing Run by Snow Patrol, I just knew that this was going to be a song that would forever be one of my all-time favorites. It makes me think of my son when I hear it, and it's ultra powerful. I probably will go check out Snow Patrol because of this album and because of Scooter Ward's live vocal performance of the Snow Patrol song Run. It it shook me to my core. So that song did the album some favors. The Devil We Know, again, it was kind of the only rock song on the bunch. Snowblind is a anti-drug anthem. Better Human is about trying to overcome and starting a revolutionary war against, I guess, worse humans. Without You is one of my favorite songs ever. It's sort of, you can read the lyrics in context of drugs. I'll be lost without you. I can't love without you. I might be lost without you. I cannot live without you, but I could be wrong. So there's a lot of hope in Without You. Quiet Now is heartbreaking. Just the emotional turmoil in Scooter Ward's life is like nothing I've ever heard in any music before. The one that got away is probably my least favorite. Systems Fail. Systems Fail is probably their most political song to date. It's just talking about how everything in this world, the chorus is all of our systems fail. And I think it's spot on. I think all of our systems do fail because they are run by us and we are imperfect. But then it sort of ends on a more positive note with Beautiful Life is a really nice love song, and We All Love is a nice love song. So they kind of end on a more positive note than a previous Cold albums have. But this is some dark lyrical material over some really nice piano music. And there's some rock moments on here, but if you don't like slow songs, you may not enjoy this a lot. You may find yourself skipping to The Devil We Know, Better Human, and Without You are probably like the only rockers on that pretty great album right there. So these are going to be my top 2 favorite Cold albums. Are you guys ready? So again, when I'm looking at these albums, I'm just thinking, and it doesn't matter to me that a band doesn't sell a lot. And in fact, some of these bands that don't sell a lot, to me, are better. And that's not me being, I'm not trying to be cool or hip by liking what's unpopular. My favorite band's Green Day, so I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, I liked Green Day before they sold out. No, I like Green Day better after they sold out. So, but Cold has just been always kind of a special band that I feel like not many people know, and I have introduced them to several women that I've dated, and they really enjoyed it as well. So I think I got Cold. I think I've made Cold. I've got them at least 2 fans that I know of. So we're gonna move on to this one. This is what year did this come out? This is 2005. This is a good year for music, right? 2005's. This one went through several different album titles, but it ended up being called A Different Kind of Pain. And this thing is like most of Cold's work. This thing, now I don't like the artwork. It looks extremely cheap. But it's a storm. It's a storm, and the spider is not in the artwork, but it is on the CD. There's the classic spider from Cold. I've noticed they've done different producers on every album. I don't think they've found somebody that they've enjoyed working with a lot. But this, and there's the ugly album art. But Back Home, Feel It in Your Heart, Anatomy of a Tidal Wave, Another Pill. Some of the singles are Happens All the Time, and that's the only one that I know of that they made a music video for on a beach. It didn't chart well as far as I know. Holy crap, I just remembered something. Be right back. Guys. I thought that I was missing something. And I was, definitely. So I was reviewing A Different Kind of Pain, and I was like, I'm missing an album by this band. Fortunately, I don't have to redo my video because I don't want to do all that. That was a lot of talking, right? So, this album, again, not great cover art, but some of the best songs they've ever written. Again, an album that didn't do well. When I started talking about Cold's success and the fact that none of these albums have sold well, I don't know about this one. I think this one had a #1 song in Shine. But this one I don't think performed well. It was on Lava. This one I'm pretty sure didn't perform well. I didn't, just didn't hear much about it at all. Cold's debut, it got him some attention. Fred Durst discovered them, and this is where they broke. So maybe that one was considered a success, but they've never really had a huge success, and I wish that they would. But moving on, and I'm debating right here on camera my top 2. But you know what? I'm going to go with my gut instincts here. But man, I gotta say, this darn near came in at #1. This came out my senior year of high school. Emotional turmoil abound in your senior year, or right after my senior year of high school. This is produced by Howard Benson. Now this one was their poppiest record to date, but my goodness, it still has the emotional kick of all their other previous albums as well. This thing, 2003, Geffen Records. They were moving up in the world with this one. Remedy, Suffocate, Cure My Tragedy, Stupid Girl, their biggest hit song that they don't really like. Don't Belong, Wasted Years, Whatever You Became, Sad Happy, Rain Song, The Day Seattle Died, a song about Kurt Cobain and Lane Stanley's tragic suicides. Change the World, Black Sunday, Kill the Music Industry. Oh man. So this has a parental advisory sticker on it. Kill the Music Industry is the only song with obscenities, other than I think there may have been 1 or 2 F-bombs earlier in the album. But Kill the Music Industry, track 13, is an obscenity-laden rant about the music industry. About how the music industry does not care about you. They spit you out and chew you out. Chew you up, spit you out. And there's the spider again. I love this album art. Okay, maybe it hasn't aged super well, but I still love that. That's just beautiful. That is one of my favorite album covers. Ooh, I could do an album covers video. This comes with a nice DVD. The DVDs that come with rock albums typically aren't that great. It's like you get some band members playing ping pong, beach ball, volleyball, sports. You guys get that reference? I like all kinds of music. That was Viagra Boys. I just did a vocal cover. So yeah, this is just beautiful, beautiful album. This one is probably the second one I purchased after my first interaction with the band. Man, I've got so many memories with this thing. This right here, 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. Definitely one of my all-time favorite albums. I think in my ranking perfect albums, I think this one came in as a perfect album. But this one just, my emotions told me to pick this over Year of the Spider. It's 100% because, this thing, oh my gosh, maybe this is a perfect album too. Produced by Raul Espinosa. And a lot of other producers. There's Fred Durst, Adam Casper, Chris Vienna, Cold, Tom Lordownge again on production. This thing is just wow. If this is probably their most metal album. If you like hard rock, new metal, this is the album that made them known for being new metal. A lot of hit songs on here. Or this album probably got, aside from Stupid Girl on Year of the Spider, this one probably got the most attention with singles. This one was actually promoted where really none of their other albums were. Let's see, No One, End of the World, and Bleed were all amazing singles. But even the deep cuts on this thing, She Said, Just Got Wicked, Confession, It's All Good, Send in the Clowns. But Bleed, if you have not heard Bleed /13 by Cold, go out and listen to it right now. It's probably one of my, it may be my favorite acoustic song in all the universe. It features vocals by Aaron Lewis, violins by some bank robbers. It's just sick stuff. Yeah, this album, yeah, this started the Spider. There's their first Spider there. And this album art is pretty cool, right? You got Spider. I'm gonna take this one out. Let's see. There's a Spider Web. Okay, but we're gonna deep dive into this one because it's my favorite. But yeah, Cold, Spider Web. Really cool album art. Some disturbing images in here. Probably wouldn't fly today in today's very strange culture we live in. There's a nice concert ticket. There's some, it looks kind of like a music video shot there. Got some nice little artwork. There's some very strong language in here that you typically don't see in some of their later work. I don't know that their new album has any foul language on it. I'll have to do some research on that. But yeah, some very, very cool artwork in here. Okay, very cool, very cool. A little blade in there. You probably can't put pictures of knives in your album anymore. But yeah, all songs written by Cold, music by Cold, lyrics by Scooter Ward. This came out in 2000, 2001. And I think it was written in 2000, came out in 2001. But man, this thing is just, it will wreck your soul with its lyrics. Can't say enough about this. If you're a rock fan, give these guys a shot. They don't get played on the radio. They're not on TV a whole heck of a lot. But you guys have heard Stupid Girl. I know you've heard Stupid Girl. So yeah, let's get you guys want to get like a quick shot of all the albums? I'm trying to give you guys some good content to watch, So we gotta close my underwear drawer. I think you guys may have seen my underwear earlier in the video. I apologize. But it's it is what it is. These aren't gonna be any particular order. Today I haven't listened to anything. I made a steak for breakfast. Couldn't cook it properly because it was so thick. And then I'm probably going to eat some ice cream for breakfast dessert. Buddy. Hello, buddy. What are your thoughts on cold? Oh, he doesn't. Buddy is like most dogs, Buddy is a jazz fan. I think Buddy's earliest memories, I believe the day I brought him home, I was playing a lot of Rock Band video games and Guitar Hero Rock Band games. I remember him being at my feet and him just being like, what the heck is this human doing? So we're going to get a quick shot of, again, not in order, but let's just get a nice visual. There's 2019's The Things We Can't Stop. Powerful album. 2011's Superfiction. It was the band's return after a long time away. Probably 6 years in the making. Just, didn't do that well. And then you got their debut, self-titled Cold. The only one with a hair-headed Scooter Ward. Year of the Spider. A perfect album. And then you got 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. A more perfect album. Better than perfect. And then you got A Different Kind of Pain. Some of the most emotional rock and roll that you will ever hear. So let's get a quick pan. Okay. And I'm Chris Norwood, and this has been ranking the studio albums on my All About Music channel. So if you guys could please like and subscribe. I'm getting an insane amount of views for my channel, for me anyway. I've just hit on different devices. It shows up different on my computer. It's a lot lower, but on my cell phone, I'm getting some significant views. It'll be 5,022 on my cell phone. I get on the computer, it's like 4,000 and something. It's like almost 5,000, but not quite. So maybe if you guys could explain YouTube to me. But anyway, this has been Ranking the Studio Albums by Cold. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I'm going to do a song. Like and subscribe. That's all you have to do. You never have to hear or see from me. I don't ask you to turn on notifications like those other YouTube losers. Because they're stupid and their video content is just content. It's not entertaining. It's not entertainment. Like and subscribe, peoples.